Jason.
How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great.
Great to see you. Great to see you. This is my friend Nicole.
Hi, Nicole. Pleased to meet you.
And her boyfriend Dane.
Alan.
Hi, Dane.
Great to meet you.
Yeah,
Great.
They're
Come on in.
They're all the way from Big Sur.
Big Sur. Well, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, welcome to Windsong Co-housing. So, have you ever heard of the concept of co-housing before?
No, we have not.
So, this is something a little bit new and different.
Yeah.
Basically, the way I describe it is, I try to get I don't usually try to present the word co-housing so much as people creating a custom planned neighborhood is more representative of it, because the future residents are involved in creating the project. So a small group of people get together and say we want to create something different, a neighborhood that makes more sense, and they get together and start promoting it with others, and then when they get enough people, they'll find a site and create some plans and then build a project.
How many families live here?
There are 34 households that live here, all the way from one bedroom and dens all the way up to 4 bedrooms with basements. That allows for different family styles. So we have young children, you know, from a couple of months old all the way up to older senior citizens up to 85, 90 years old. So it's a nice mix. It's the sense of recreating that sense of village again, where you can be young here and grow up here and live your last days here in celebrations.
We were just talking about in the car actually before we came in about, I was saying how when I went to Sicily, I stayed right on the plaza, and every night all the town would come to the plaza and congregate. It didn't matter what age you were there, and you were sharing that night together. So
Yeah,
it's a great feeling.
Sharing stories and communicating with each other and talking.
Yeah, there's a lot of richness with the different ages, and we know each other here, we care about each other.
Yeah.
So you can just imagine the interactions between a young person and our senior citizen who maybe never had a chance to have a granddaughter or grandson have that ability now. And we do a lot of shared child care, and we find that the older children take care of the younger children here too, because we're sort of like a family together in a sense. So here, sort of a village square, we can expand any of our activities into this area. So if we have a big dinner or something like that, it'll expand out here. At Christmas time, we'll have rows of tables out here for serving food, and our dining room will be full with maybe about 100 people.
Well, you know, the talk of food always piques my interest.
I love to cook.
Yeah, so this kitchen is designed so that we can cook for 100 people real easily with a group of us coming here. And we find we share evening meals about a couple of times a week. And so a group of people sign up for making that meal. So we all contribute, required to contribute 4 hours a month for doing maintenance around Windsong. And so with about 60 people participating in that, it's about 240 hours a month that go into maintenance. And that's not just physical maintenance, that's social maintenance as well.
So with that, do you feel like there are certain values that the children here seem to be raised with, maybe towards organic farming or in general with other values?
Well, definitely the children are raised with a lot of different values, because we're learning how to be in community. So they're learning that automatically. So when they go to their school systems, the teacher can always tell if it's a Windsong child or not.
Really?
Because a Windsong child, if there's a battle happening in the playground, for example, he will step in between and get the two sides to try to talk to each other. Which is something we do here. In conflict, we learn how to talk with each other and how to resolve those conflicts, instead of just be in them and separate from it. So it's different. And they know the consensus process really well. They participate in our community meetings. We do monthly meetings, and we do everything by 100% agreement.
Wow.
Which sounds quite radical in itself. Impossible, that's right. But we've created this $7 million project using that system, and have been living here for 12 years, and have done a lot of improvements based on that system. So it works if it's used correctly. It takes good training, but it does work.
I think Alan was saying that there's also a daycare facility.
Yes, we can go to show you the children's play area next. And
Great.
some of this area here, though, this is the community stage. So
Sorry, this is a community stage?
Yeah, so we do a lot of performances. You'll see a lot of stage lights focusing onto this area. And we got speakers throughout the whole area to create some good sound quality. And we have a big screen there it's connected to laptop computers, so we can do our minutes and things like that right on the screen as we're in a meeting. Or we got a projector there, of course, so we can do movies together here, Friday night movies and stuff like that. So it's a lot of fun. It's a great opportunity for the children to perform. Right. So they learn how to perform here, and you'll see that quite a bit. And they all get a great audience. You know, they may not be great performers at, 2 and 3 years old, or even 5 or 6 maybe, but they really have a lot of fun up there, and they get a great audience. Everybody cheers them on and claps for them. And
that's great. Red, yellow, or green card?
Yeah, that's the voting system.
Okay.
So it makes it real simple. So a green card means yes, yellow card means I can live with it. I'm not too sure about it. Red card says I need to create a better way. It doesn't seem to fit into our community values, and we need to find a better way to do this. And I'm willing to work with people to create something different. And they get heard here, and they have a say. And what they say is valued here. That makes a huge difference in relationships.
They take their passion for that out into the outside community. Yeah. It's still out there. That's great.
Yeah, it makes a difference. So we got an outdoor children's play area. And we built this loft afterwards too. And that was a little bit around consensus where the children got involved. The adults wanted a handrail that was completely open, and the children wanted it completely closed off. So the compromise was we had some openings and some parts closed off.
Fair compromise.
Yeah. So a lot of these kind of things we put in afterwards, and all these different swing sets, and we keep adding to the community all the time. It keeps improving. We have a unique sales process here as well. A lot of it's through networks, so we have our own in-house people that help with the paperwork. And so when we sell a home, the seller contributes $7,000 to the community for finding a new member and helping to put the sale together. And $5,000 of that goes towards improving the common facilities. So we've clustered our homes only on 3/4 acre of the whole site to be able to save, the land for green space, which is important to people. If you're planning your own neighborhood, you're going to say, I want to have some place for the forest, for the children to play, or just to have this natural space. Yeah, and we get out there in nature, and it's just like you're not in the city anymore, in the suburbs anymore.
It's very important.
Yeah. So as you can see, we have our own kitchen and living room and bedroom, but we have a small space here, and we don't have to worry about entertaining people or anything like that here, because all our entertainment happens in the common house for us. And we go up there, that's our family room and our big dining room area. If we had a big family reunion, we have lots of space for it up there. And
that work.
Well, also what we have is the social fabric that connects us. So then when we got these common spaces, we got those connections that can bring people together to use them. Where in a townhouse project with a lot of common facilities, you don't know your neighbors, so you don't have anybody to go down there to play a game of pool with. So you feel alone, and they never get used. Or they become too difficult to use, where you have to put a fee up and sign waivers and have to get a hold of the strata council before you can use the room, and it becomes complicated. Where here it's all spontaneous. We just go down and sign on a sheet if we want private use of a room up there, and we get that space if it's available, and it's no big deal. It's easy. It's really something. I remember the first day, we have in North America this big dream of getting your big single-family home overlooking the valley with a great view, and you figure you have it all. So I was a custom home builder, and I finally got that dream home we built as a family overlooking the valley, 5-level, 3,200 square foot split level. But I still felt like there was something missing inside, and I couldn't put a handle on it. But when the first day I moved into here, that emptiness filled up inside of me. And it was that sense of connection, sense of community. I just felt really warm. I felt complete to be around people who care about each other, and a great connection.
Yeah. And
that seemed to be what was missing for me. That sense of place, sense of belonging where
that collective consciousness.
Yeah. And unconditional love here. It's okay to be yourself here. It's okay to have a different view, which usually in my typical neighborhood, to be nice to your neighbors. You sort of try to get along with and go along with their view and try to. But here, it's okay to be grumpy. It's okay to be different, and you're honored and valued and respected. It's
That's one of your expectations.
amazing.
Don't pass judgment.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, if you do, that's okay too. You know, people do that. And it's okay here if you judge as well.
Are you still going to see the same person every day?
But you're accepted for that, you know, you're accepted if that's the way you are, and eventually you change and evolve. It's a personal growth process, it's huge. Yeah.
Life certainly is.
Being in community accelerates it tremendously. Because we have to unlearn the competitive things to learn how to be cooperative and working together. It's quite a shift for a lot of us.
Yeah.
So,
So Alan, what would be my first step if I were to try and set something up like this?
oh, okay. Well, first step is just start talking to people about it and see if you can find other people that are interested in joining you. That's the first step.
How many people?
And get sort of clear on your vision of sort of what you want, not in detail, but in real general terms. Because the detail needs to come from the group. So it's better saying I love to live in a co-housing community with about 30 homes in an urban or suburban or rural setting. Usually try to pick one of those three settings because that sort of defines the level of closeness that you're comfortable with. And so once you pick that, say, you know, and 30 is the ideal size of community.
30 is the ideal.
Yeah, if it gets below 15, you don't have enough financial energy to create the common facilities to make it work, or the kind of diverse energy that it takes to maintain a community. But if you get over 35, the self-governance seems to be a little bit tougher.
So what does that equate to in numbers? So
Numbers
35.
about 80 to 100 people is sort of ideal size.
Okay.
80 to 90, somewhere in there. And that's the number of people you can sort of be really sort of close to before it starts to break away. So it's sort of a natural breaking away kind of systems. And they've seen this over communities over time. It gets so big, like the Hutterite communities, for example, once they get so big, they split and form a new community. So it's living communities like cells that split once they get to a certain size.
Yeah, so first step would be to obviously get a plan together.
Well,
Talk
not
to-
too much a plan, just say this is what I want, to do a co-housing community of 30 units in an urban setting or a suburban setting. That's it. That's all you want to do.
Yeah,
You don't want to sort of say, well, it has to be a glassed-in street or it has to have these energy systems. Allow that to evolve in the group process. And that's the real key for a burning soul. It allows it to evolve in the process. Instead of trying to fix what it's going to be and trying to get people to come to that particular unique vision. It's got to be a group thing.
That's pretty rare.
And even with new people coming in, because we sense energy so much more now being in community, somebody will come in, they'll need help with a mortgage where their family won't help them. And we'll pull together some Windsong people and we'll do a $30,000 or $40,000 or $50,000 second mortgage at very low interest rates to help people get in. And those things just don't happen.
Very special.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. And those are all sort of the small little things that sort of happen being in community that I take for granted now, and I really shouldn't, because when I go into the outside world and see what happens out there, I say, why did they do things like that still? So now we're off to Yarrow Eco Village. It's more of a rural community. It has 20 acres of certified organic farmland and 5 acres of residential development with some commercial space in it. So that's our next trip. So now it's time for lunch.
Great.